It's an exciting day here at the Futurum Group. All of you that know me know how we've been so focused on what comes next. We know this industry is changing rapidly, and we are very excited about how decisions will be made in the future, how analysts, both in the traditional sense and in the AI powered sense, will be able to power those decisions. And of course, here at the Futurum Group, we are changing incredibly rapidly. And that's why I'm so excited about what's going on here today at the Futurum Group. As many of you know, we've been very focused on expanding our audience. We, of course, love all the vendors and customers that we've worked with over the years. But many of you know, in the past year, we've deepened our roots with the launch of Futurum Equities. And of course, we've been buying and expanding and investing in various distribution. And from the very onset, we've always been very focused on how we tell the story, both within the Futurum Group, on our sites, and of course, throughout the media. But today, those investments in Futurum Equities, those investments in our distribution and in Futurum are going to get even better and get even stronger because we're also focused on delivering the best data, the best insights, and doing it not only to the technology industry, but to the financial services industry, and of course, to those making buying decisions. And with that, I'd like to announce that the Futurum Group has acquired ETR, and I'd like to bring on Brad LaScolea, their CEO, to talk to me a little bit about this announcement and about why we are both so excited about what's going to come next.
Thank you very much, Daniel. This is an exciting and historic day for ETR. As you know, this is my second stint. I've spent almost a dozen years at the company, and I couldn't be more excited to become a part of the Futurum Group and a part of the next chapter, which I think is going to be a really, really exciting and, challenging one at times, but one where we can really transform the industry.
Yeah, Brad, we've been talking for a number of years, and some of you out there may know Brad from the industry side. And of course, some of you may not be familiar with ETR. How about before we jump in and talk all about the great synergies of next generation data and intent surveys, about decision intelligence and real-time AI powered data, just talk a little bit about ETR and, a little bit about the history, the customers you serve, and maybe, tease in there a little bit about why you and I, from the first time we sat down, knew that this was a match made for the market.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when I think about ETR, I think about due diligence at scale. So, a little bit about my background. I've been either working in financial services, whether as a research analyst, a salesperson, or, ultimately serving data to the buy side over the last 20 plus years. And with that in mind, I'll never forget short stint on the buy side, 2007, my portfolio manager asking me to call a couple resellers of ours and give an opinion on demand for a company. And I just couldn't believe that he wanted to make decisions off of one or two conversations. And I was supposed to extrapolate that for demand for an entire company or sector. So, with that, eventually later on, I joined ETR, one of the first employees, and it all came back to due diligence at scale. Let's build a community of IT decision makers. And if you build a large enough community across the largest organizations throughout the globe, eventually through standardized surveys, through enough data collection, you can get a valuable signal and truly understand what's going on at the company level, the sector level, and be ahead of the game, period.
Yeah, Brad, you started answering a question that I'm sure everyone out in the audience would love to know about ETR. Tell us a little bit about that community, the decision makers at scale. How big is the community that we will now be able to serve? How much revenue do they influence? And kind of what are those products and services that you've been building for the market? Maybe you could share that, and then I'll tell a little bit about how we see that helping the industry.
Absolutely. So the community now is approaching 10,000 large, 2/3 large enterprise, which we categorize as 1,200 or more employee organizations. And they represent almost $2 trillion in annual IT spend. So obviously very large community, global, and one that we continue to grow.
And the products you've been building, it's a decade of probably most popular and known product, the TSIS survey, but just a little bit of the rundown on those core products.
Yeah, the core survey was a quarterly technology spending intent survey. It was always forward looking. It's funny, clients probably still remember the old Excel sheets back in 2012, 2013, when we had 2 years of data and we had an idea, but ultimately just a single spreadsheet. And it's funny to see how it's evolved over time where, we help clients with the what, the why, and then ultimately the signal and the data. But what started with just technology spending intent surveys ultimately evolved into more product specific surveys. We have our AI product series we conduct 6 times a year. We have our observatory, which is sector and subsector product specific surveys that we conduct annually across a number of different sectors. Then we also have insights, which is CIO panels and interviews, our edge reports, which are brand new, which get in really deep into the weeds, into the what of increasing and decreasing spend across those technology spending intent surveys. And we have all types of tools that where we backtest the data to help you identify the signal. So there's a lot more, and I'm not going to be able to cover it in 60 seconds, but we are a completely different firm than we were even 2-3 years ago.
Well, you've been investing big in embracing technology, building this community, delivering high value signal. And at Futurum, signal is our evaluation. And you can start to see how these pieces come together. But at Futurum, we've built a ton of proprietary data. And of course, many of you have interacted with Futurum Intelligence, Futurum AI, Futurum Signal. And now with ETR, we're going to expand to well above 10,000 of these decision makers, well above $2 trillion in annual spend. And the signals that investors need to make buying decisions are the same signals that many IT decision makers need to make purchasing decisions. And as we at Futurum continue to want to build the next generation of real-time, forward-looking decision intelligence at scale, contextually aware, hyper-personalized, this level of data, plus some of those new products, those AI-powered surveys that you're doing, the observatory and how it integrates with our Futurum Signal, which provides those forward-looking AI-powered autonomous evaluations. This is going to genuinely change the shape of the business. We will have greater data. It's going to power better custom research, better syndicated research. The data you'll bring to Futurum will be available to all of our vendor customers, almost 400 of them. And then, of course, the data that we have, the semiconductor models, the AI software platforms, infrastructure, security models that we built will all be able to be then packaged up, added to what you're selling to your hundreds of buy-side customers. So the synergies are tremendous here. We no doubt have, like I said, believed that the work we do has incremental and exponential value to the market, but together it's so much more powerful, Brad. I'm just absolutely thrilled that we're going to go on this journey together.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. And as you said, when I think about how we're going to be able to serve the buy side going forward, depth and breadth, we're going to be able to get deeper. We're going to be able to get wider across technology. And then simultaneously with your platform, speed to insight is going to be as fast as ever.
And for everyone out there, I can't give it all away right now, but we at Futurum have been working diligently on building what is going to come next in AI-powered decision intelligence. Together, we will accelerate that build. We will help investors make better decisions. We will help IT buyers make better decisions. And of course, we will continue to work closely with the technology vendors and implementers on giving them the information about what their buyers and investors are thinking. There couldn't be a better partnership that I could imagine if I had the chance to write it all down. And I did. And that's how we got to this conclusion. And while it took a little while, and we won't share any of the dirt about, doing a deal in this day and age, Brad, I can't believe we're finally here. I'm so excited to be together and have ETR as part of the Futurum family. I'm so excited for all of you to see the great work and to be able to benefit from all of the new product services that we have. And of course, all of our new customers, new employees, and those that are being onboarded right now, absolutely couldn't be happier that you're all now part of Futurum. For those of you that are interested in learning more, Futurum with ETR, now part of Futurum, we'll be doing a handful of webinars. And of course, our teams, customer success and sales, will be reaching out to our clients to share more information. But for those of you that are excited, thrilled, can't wait to learn more, please get in touch with us. We would love to not only tell you all about the great new capabilities that we have as part of this acquisition, but we would also like to show you. And I think you will be blown away when you see just how well this data cuts through the noise and delivers that signal. Thanks so much for being part of this. We appreciate you all very much. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.